What if geography is not really about maps? What if it is about how human beings try to make the world understandable? Welcome to Nerdjacker's Vault. Today we're stepping into Book 1 of Geography by Strabo. And it begins with an ambition much larger than coastlines or distances. Because to understand the Earth is not simply to know where things are. It is to understand how people live, how civilizations move, how stories form, how memory survives. And right away, the world stops feeling fragmented. Astronomy, politics, history, poetry, travel, mathematics, they all begin connecting together. That is the central idea here. Knowledge is relational. Nothing exists completely alone. Not landscapes, not empires, not stories. At first it seems strange. Why would a geographer begin with poetry? But to Strabo, Homer is not merely a storyteller. He is one of the first people to imagine the world as a connected whole. Oceans, rivers, peoples, voyages, climates. Even when myth enters the story, Strabo believes there is still truth underneath it. He refuses the sharp division between fact and story. For him, myths are not useless fantasies, they are distorted memories. Human beings preserve meaning through narrative long before they preserve it through science. A dangerous whirlpool becomes Charybdis. Unknown regions become lands of monsters. Experienced navigators become kings of the winds. The story changes reality, but it does not completely abandon it. Human beings do not preserve pure facts. They preserve impressions, fear, wonder, meaning. Yet inside those distortions, fragments of reality survive. That's why Strabo constantly moves between skepticism and belief. He does not accept myths literally, but he also refuses to dismiss them entirely. Instead, he searches for the historical or geographical core hidden inside them. And suddenly, geography becomes interpretation, not just measurement and description. The world is mapped not only through coordinates, but through stories. At the same time, Strabo remains deeply practical. Again and again, he argues that geography matters because rulers, generals, and states depend on it. Armies fail when they misunderstand terrain. Trade routes reshape civilizations. Navigation determines survival. Empires expand through geographical knowledge. The Persians become trapped in unfamiliar lands. Roman campaigns struggle in forests and marshes because local peoples understand the terrain better. So geography becomes not only political, but reveals the scale of civilization itself. As exploration expands, the known world expands with it. Alexander's conquests reveal Asia. Rome reveals Western Europe. Travel enlarges knowledge. Empires unintentionally become engines of discovery. And yet beneath all this confidence there is uncertainty. Much of the Earth remains unknown. Travelers exaggerate, reports conflict, maps remain incomplete, and Strabo knows this. That gives the text a surprising humility. Geography is not complete mastery over the world. It is an attempt to assemble fragments into coherence. It becomes especially clear when he discusses the shape of the Earth. He accepts the Earth as spherical, ships disappearing below the horizon, coastlines slowly rising into view, celestial movements overhead. All of these become evidence. But what matters is not only the conclusion, it is the worldview beneath it. Human beings are tiny observers trying to infer the structure of a vast world from limited perception. A horizon hides truth. Movement reveals it slowly, and geography becomes the discipline of extending perspective. The heavens and the earth mirror one another. Climate, latitude, eclipses, seasons, they all connect earthly life to cosmic structure. And slowly, the scale of the text keeps widening. From cities to continents, from continents to oceans, from oceans to the heavens themselves. But Strabo also warns against getting lost in details. He criticizes scholars who obsess over trivial precision while missing larger patterns. He wants proportion, structure, connections, not endless clutter. And maybe that's why the text still feels alive, because it is not merely an encyclopedia. It is an attempt to understand how human beings orient themselves within the world, how civilizations create mental maps long before they create accurate physical ones, how memory, travel, myth, observation, and politics all merge into one picture of reality. How should human beings think about truth itself? Not just scientific truth, but the mixture of observation, imagination, exaggeration, and interpretation through which societies understand the world. And this is where his defense of Homer becomes philosophical. Poetry, he argues, is not the opposite of knowledge. It is another way of organizing it. Hyperbole is not always falsehood. Sometimes exaggeration reveals importance. A river becomes heaven-sent because its flooding sustains civilization. A dangerous sea becomes monstrous because fear transforms memory into symbol. Myth reshapes reality, but still points back toward experience. Strabo neither believes everything nor rejects everything. He searches constantly for the relationship between story and reality. Earthquakes reshape coastlines, harbors disappear, rivers change course. Islands attach themselves to the mainland. Shells found far inland suggest ancient seas once covered those regions. The earth itself becomes unstable. Nothing remains fixed forever. Not cities, not shorelines, not nations, not even maps. Nature transforms faster than people realize. The map evolves alongside civilization. And because of that, interpretation becomes unavoidable. Knowledge remains fragmentary, correctable but always incomplete. The geographer assembles pieces from travelers, merchants, sailors, historians, and local traditions, trying to create coherence from imperfect evidence. Not perfectly, but continuously. And perhaps that is what geography ultimately becomes for Strabo. Not simply measurement, but the endless human attempt to orient ourselves within a changing world. That's all for today. Please subscribe for more contents like this. For the full audiobook, please check the link in the description.